topic is about opposable minds. Now, what does an opposable mind mean? Well, the best way I can sum it up is instead of having a brain that thinks in black and white, right and wrong, yes, no, it would be about imagining and entertaining multiple possibilities, multiple ideas, and holding them in your brain at the same time. Why on earth would we want an opposable mind? Well, it can be extremely useful when it comes to the way we engage in conversations. If we want to engage in a true dialogue with somebody, we need to be able to entertain the fact that it might not be our perspective that's the only perspective. This specific topic on opposable minds comes to us from the book An Opposable Mind by Roger Martin. And there's one nugget that I think is just absolutely golden in this book. And what it does is it describes a specific stance to have about the world and about yourself in order to help create and cultivate an opposable mind. Each part, whether it's your stance toward the world or your stance on yourself, has 3 different aspects to it. So let's begin with your stance on the world. The first is that existing models do not represent reality. They represent our construction of reality. So it's that whole idea that we create stories. Our experience of something is different than somebody else's. You know, I'm sure you've heard where they have like a crime and there was multiple witnesses and all the witnesses recount the story slightly differently because based on their history, their perspective, their emotions, what was going through their mind at the time, they experienced that one exact same event very, very differently. The second is that opposing models are to be leveraged, not to be feared. That for us to try to seek out truth and to try to seek out reality, it's actually great for us to leverage all those different perspectives. Diving and plunging into that gray space where it's not so black and white is what's going to help us make sense of the reality we live in. And the last is that existing models are not perfect. Better models do exist out there. Now, this is a very important stance to have about the world because if you think that the best and most perfect models have already been created and already exist and ways of viewing the world have already been perfected, then what sort of orientation or mindset do you have in exploring the way other people's minds work or what you can create with another individual? So then we go on to the stances about ourself. So again, there are 3. The first one is that I am capable of finding a better model. So within yourself, you need to feel motivation that it's possible for you to find better ways of thinking, better models, and better ways of even just living and conversing with other individuals, that your mind is capable of perceiving a better future. The second is that I can wade into and get through the complexity. And you need to have that orientation and the courage and confidence that it's worth exploring that. That in order to try to find a better reality, a better truth, a better model, that it is worth doing and it's worth making yourself feel uncomfortable for. And lastly, I give myself the time to create a better model. Understanding that this doesn't happen overnight. Be lenient with yourself, allow yourself the time in order to get there, in order to create this orientation about the world and about yourself. Each of these requires time, experience, and cultivation, but the first thing you need to do is ask yourself and others to create this stance, especially when engaging in an important dialogue together. When we approach the world with an opposable mind, think of it as like Play-Doh or something that you are open to molding and creating new things. It can lead us to possibilities that our black and white brain couldn't have even imagined. I hope you liked today's topic. I would love to hear your feedback on it. I'll be including more information about the book Opposable Mind in the description of this episode. And please feel free to leave your comments on the YouTube channel and subscribe, tell your friends. We'll see you next week. Thanks!